The letters in the attic. In a small coastal town in England, nestled between rolling hills and the endless blue of the sea, stood an old cottage with ivy-covered walls. It belonged to Eleanor, an 82-year-old woman who had lived there most of her life. One spring morning, as she sorted through dusty boxes in her attic, Eleanor found a wooden chest she hadn't opened in decades. Inside were letters, dozens of them, tied with a faded red ribbon. Her hands trembled as she untied it. The first letter was dated June 5, 1962. My dearest Eleanor. Today the sun rose a little earlier, and I swear it was because it missed your smile. Every hour I spend away from you is a moment I wish I could undo. They were letters from Thomas, the man she loved over 60 years ago. Eleanor and Thomas had met in 1960. She was an aspiring painter, he was a young postman with ink-stained fingers and a poet's soul. Every day he delivered her mail, and every day he left with a little more of her heart. They would sit by the sea, talk about dreams, and share silent moments that spoke louder than words. But life has its cruel timings. In 1963, Thomas was offered a rare scholarship to study literature in America. Eleanor told him to go. "We'll write," she said, "until the world brings us back together." And they did write, letters that were tender, passionate, and full of longing. But then, one day, the letters stopped. Eleanor wrote again and again, but no reply ever came. Heartbroken but proud, she never tried to find him. She believed he had moved on. So she buried herself in her art, living a quiet life by the sea, never marrying, never forgetting. Back in the attic, Eleanor found a final letter dated December 1963. It had never been opened. She realized it must have fallen behind the chest and been forgotten. With trembling fingers, she opened it. My Eleanor. I've written every day for months, and I don't know if my letters are reaching you. I fear they are not. There was a storm and your village was flooded. Perhaps your address changed. I am coming home. If this letter reaches you, wait for me by the lighthouse on New Year's Eve. I'll be there. Eleanor's heart ached. She never went to the lighthouse. She never knew. The next morning, with help from a local historian, she searched for news of Thomas. To her astonishment, she found a journal entry from 1964. It described a young man who waited at the lighthouse every year on New Year's Eve for a woman who never came. He stopped coming in 1970. Through more digging, Eleanor found an address in London. With her heart pounding like a girl of 20, she wrote a letter, not knowing if Thomas was alive. A week passed. Then another. Then, one morning, a letter arrived. My dear Eleanor. I waited. I waited every year, hoping, praying. I never stopped loving you. And now, after all this time, I still do. Come find me. They met again under the same lighthouse, older, quieter, but their eyes still held the fur,